calling in now? He text you or something?
Hmm?
He just text you saying he's going to call in, or are you just saying?
Yeah, he just sent me some shit on Facebook. I'm replying. Yeah, I spoke to Brian today. I didn't in Facebook. I did talk to him.
Oh, yeah.
And I was talking to Andy. He was like, yo, man. He's like, it's time to be scared, man. It's over, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure.
I don't know what it is exactly, man.
Yeah. It's something that we don't know about yet. You know. Apparently.
I'll just wait for Andy to come on. Then I'll call him again. So I doubt he'll pick up. But,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no time to be scared now. You know, it's kind of like the one time, if any time, to go all out. Kind of like a last shot, if anything. But I'm not working with the whole story, so.
Where is this guy? You ever wake up in a stuffy room and like your nose is all stuffy and it's so hot?
Yeah, that's the word. It's all dried out and shit.
I think somebody's on. Somebody else? No, it's he's calling now. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Brandy.
Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, we just tried calling him a few minutes ago, and he didn't pick up. It sounded like he was on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Somebody. Maybe it could have been his wife or somebody else. Who knows?
Yeah, it must be then, in that case.
I'm going to try calling him back right now.
Okay.
See if he picks up.
You had to hang up? You do
No.
that?
No.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Are you talking to me on the phone, or are you talking to like a computer Skype service?
Yeah, it's talk shoes. That same thing been using.
On the phone.
Well, you can go through TalkShoe through Skype too, right?
Yeah, if you use Skype, but I don't have Skype, right? I don't have a computer to use Skype.
Oh, you don't have a computer?
No, I borrow somebody else's. I use somebody, but I don't have my own computer right now. My computer is broken.
Jeez. Well, you should let me take a look at it if you.
There's nothing you can do because this has happened more than once. It's just stuff that the system does. Like it'll just. I'll just have viruses and it'll just shut me down. I can't.
Well, you let me know. If you let me take a look. They tried to do something to my computer before. Mm-hmm. What they've done was they blew my power supply. I don't know what kind of signal that they send over the lines, but it blew up my power supply. I had to replace my power supply.
You want to hear what happened to me? I have a friend who specializes in computers. He fixes computers all the time.
Yeah.
And he gave me basically a brand new computer. He had a computer for years. Worked perfectly fine. I had it 3 days. It's not working.
It got shut down. Okay.
This is not the first time, no. My other computer was fine too, and it stopped working.
Yeah. Yeah, I was suspecting what they're doing is they're going through the power line. Have you ever heard of power over Ethernet connection?
Of what?
You use the power line to transmit data. So any computer that plugs into the power line system basically can be tracked. Don't necessarily need high-speed internet or
Oh, really?
or
I thought it was
like
internet.
Well, they must have some other way to get to your computer, and the only way, and the most universal way, is that all computer needs power. So obviously, they're going to have to go through the power line in order to get to you. If that's the most sure way to get to your computer. Any computer that plugs into the power basically is connected to the net.
You know what I found when they usually shut down my computer is while I'm uploading a video. As soon as I upload a video to YouTube or upload or whatever, they shut it down.
Oh man,
That's
so obvious. They're making it so obvious. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead and call Glenn. Are you going to be on the phone while you're doing that?
Yeah, I'm 3-way. All right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go for it.
All right. Not going to pick it up.
Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time the answering machine came on, so what do you think that means?
Yeah. He's got 2 numbers, right? He's got
another number too.
Do you know if the 2 numbers are all sitting at the same desk for him, or
no?
one number is at another location? No. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think the other one was with him.
Does he have a cell number? Does he have a cell? I mean, not a cell, wireless phone at his location?
Yeah, it's his phone he walks around with.
Oh, okay.
But if he left to go, tend to the farm, he could be out of range. So.
Oh, okay.
I think he's around now because the phone went to answer. I mean, it doesn't do that when he's online, when he's on the line.
Well, it's 1:30. Maybe he's eating right now. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him again. So.
He knows you're gonna call around this time, right?
I don't know if he clarified this week he was going to call, but it's usually the time frame that he says he's around. It's between 2 and 4, I guess.
2 and 4. Okay. So I guess you're calling a little bit early.
No. It's 2 right now. 30.
Oh, okay. Well, from my location, it's 1:30.
Oh.
I assume he's in the same time zone as I am.
Please leave your name.
But we are.
1:30. What do you mean? It's 2:30.
Is it?
No. Wow.
My daylight savings
around.
So how? I mean, is he on the phone with his wife all the time? Right now?
Seems like that. It definitely seems like that, man.
Every few hours, I guess.
Wife with him.
Huh?
All of a sudden, she wants to go back to Glen. I mean, that's pretty.
Have you been getting his emails?
I got his email the other day.
Yeah, me too. You know what's funny? I get an email, right? I've been getting his emails, but like Dana and that kid, that guy Brian, they don't get his emails. Like weird. Man.
I got it. Let's see. I got it on Thursday.
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Weird. Man.
I haven't gotten one since the end of October.
Are you on the mailing list? I mean, I'm looking at the email address here. I'm looking at MT Lab.
He has a bunch of different different mailing lists.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Why don't you just put it all in one?
He does different like tests and stuff to see like because sometimes his emails will go out and they'll change it. So he sends like one to his own email account to see like what they've changed.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. He can't get any email from any of these addresses, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. He blocked them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could fax him. Like, I've been faxing him recently. Like, if I have something to say to him, like, it doesn't necessarily need a phone call, you know?
Uh-huh.
I'll just send him a fax.
And he can get fax?
Yeah, he gets faxes, yeah.
He gets fax, no problem. Okay.
And, I mean, he hasn't faxed me back. But it's usually kind of a one-way thing anyway that I'm sending, so.
Well, you gotta realize, older people, they don't like to deal with technology stuff. So.
Yeah.
A little bit on the slower side.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he has a faster computer, but it's the monitor won't turn on for him. So, I mean, there's probably some troubleshooting you could do if or if you were there, you could fix it. But it's harder for people who they're not familiar with the technology to get around it, troubleshoot it.
I don't know, man. I guess, I kind of knew, like, in the back of my head, like, it wasn't a good idea to call this guy. I'm not giving it a shot, though.
I mean, you guys do this every Saturday, am I correct? I mean, I just want to...
I don't call him every Saturday. I try to do, like, at least once a month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean...
How many other people does he talk with? I mean, besides, like, our little group here?
I don't know. I know he talks to other people, but I don't know exactly. I can't gauge. He tells me, there's other people I've spoken to, but I've spoken to once, I've never spoken to again. Like, there's one guy from Australia who just found this stuff.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, personally, I think Glenn should, help us contact one another as well. This way, maybe we can call them all at the same time. Sometimes,
What do you mean? Contact?
Like our little group here, we all know each other. I mean, at least to a certain degree, and but there's other scattered groups out there that he contacts that we don't know.
I don't know these people, man. I really don't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like I try to put my name and number and everything so they can contact me, and there's not really. There isn't really anybody else. I'm starting to see, man.
Also, he doesn't necessarily know who these people are either, and they could he doesn't necessarily want to put everyone together in a group, and then some people that if he's not even sure of who they are, he's mixing them in with everyone, and kind of just.
Yeah, maybe maybe right now he just have a little bit too many people that he needs to track. So.
Well, he doesn't know who anyone is until he meets them. You could be anyone calling, like, pretending to be whoever and just talking to the guy. Like, he has no idea who you are. There's a voice on the phone until he meets you. And even then, you could just be someone who's fronting to try to see what you could do over there and destroy shit. So you had that happen, people going over there pretending that they wanted to be a part of it and then stealing his shit or destroying certain things or copying his computer or, like, hacking into his stuff. So... Trust issue is definitely one thing, big thing.
I mean, I personally don't know how many people you can trust, but
I made
a donation there, regardless. I went to his place or not, and try to tell him my whole story to him. It's pretty much even if I go there, it's hard sometimes, for people to trust you, especially when you don't.
Yeah.
It's all based on what you tell them. I mean, regardless of
it's what you tell them and what they see too, like that. Yeah.
What you show them. Yeah.
But
over time,
in person would be a little bit easier, but over the phone, from his liberal understanding, I think he can judge a person pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, he puts you on the
not really.
So far so good. So just wait and see file. I mean, that goes for all of us. Anyone you're talking to online or whatever, or Facebook, unless you've met them and you've really got to gauge who they are, you don't know who these people are. So that goes for everyone in your lives.
Yeah, and that's the way the society runs. They don't want trust. Not built on trust, it's built on power and power over others. That's pretty much based structure on, and how useful you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm finding those people on Facebook, friends that you had. And
I talk to a lot of people.
Yeah,
I don't know who they are, but to me, they're all pretty much have one thing in common. They're all very consistent about how often they post. That kind of tells me something.
A lot of people have a habit of just telling everything they think, but then there's people I know certain women out there that I've seen the one woman called Arrow and Target.
Who?
Yeah, your friend Arrow and Target, they call themselves.
Who's that? I'm not sure.
They're from, these people all seem to be from Canada or something. Some of them. There's another
many
one
are actually from all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a couple of people in Australia, Sweden, France.
All these people, I'm not too sure of them. I don't know. This one lady, her name is Kimberly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she seems all right, but I'm not too sure of her.
Yeah.
She doesn't really try to say too much to reveal anything. So
she's in the Christian pigeonhole.
Is she?
She's kind of like the semi-religious type.
Yeah, I know.
She's not really fanatic. She's very outgoing in some ways, but she's not really like the fanatic type. But she's still within that category. Which specific branch of Christianity, I don't know.
She seems to be like
the Rose Cross.
She seems to be kind of not like that looking glass lady, but she doesn't really say much to reveal much.
You should befriend this lady called Tammy. Tammy Reed, R-E-I-D. She was my friend. She was on my friend list. You can take a look at her. I don't know what you all will think, but to me, she looks doing one person. She seems to know a lot of stuff. She's the one that claims that her husband descended from Solomon or something like that.
What?
A couple other people. Huh?
Her husband what?
Was in Nova Scotia.
That's where the other ladies from Nova Scotia. A lot of these people.
Nova Scotia, yeah.
So I'm wondering these people in Nova Scotia.
She lives in a house with the gold number on top. Tell me about gold number on top of it. Her house number is 79 or something like that. 74, 79, I forgot. But
that one lady that you have, Arrow and Target, she's like a young girl.
Who?
I never met somebody who's she seems to be aware, basic things. Like, she's more of like, I see it, she's like semi, like, I wouldn't call her a Buddhist, but she seems to be interested.
It's on my friends list?
Yeah, Arrow and Target. But she's like, I never met a girl who was, she's, I guess you call a number 9.
She doesn't, yeah.
She's a number, she's like almost like a boy. But
you think she's only a number 9? I don't know. I mean, to me, they already made up to, I think, at least model 10.1 or 10.2.
Yeah, but I'm just
at least at least at that level at this point, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, like the one-on-one tower in Taiwan, that's the symbology. 10.1.
Mm-hmm.
They already erected that one. So.
Yeah, I think those 10 and up, it's more like people in power.
That's
positions
true.
of power.
I guess you can gauge it from that too. So. But that doesn't necessarily mean they can't have other models sitting around that doesn't take on power because they don't have a need for them at this point. They don't just build one.
I think if it's at that stage, then they're definitely like manufactured, not just like people that some normal people that have been mixed with that type of gene, or genes. Those are like real task-specific people that are at that number.
Do you think like the Neanderthals? Do you think they come and like visit to see like their experiments, to see like where experiments?
I'm still a little confused with that, like the Neanderthal portion, because I'm still confused. Like, what exactly do they look like? I mean, from Glen one time, I think
I know what they look like.
I heard that they're kind of like short and stocky, but
no, they're like skinny and tall.
Skinny and tall.
I've heard it skinny, real, lanky arms, just real.
But now that kind of confuses me even more now because I'm trying to.
That's what I've heard. All this short and
I guess like short and stocky is what they want to show us. I mean, teach us, train us to think that way.
Well, stocky, not at all. They're not stocky at all. They're skinny and really
short and skinny, and I mean, they're tall and skinny. Like the.
I think
I don't know if they're short or tall. What? I
would think more like short with long, skinny limbs and long fingers like that. Not 5 fingers even. Maybe 3 or 4 fingers, long, skinny, and kind of short style. Bigger heads, or heads that might be look like hedgehog or squirrel kind of looking faces, not just a regular.
So even they look like semi-human. I mean, that means all these alien stuff.
They look like those aliens. That's what they are. Those aliens that you see. That's exactly what they look like.
Well, I'm not sure. Because from what my pop says, he says like squirrel face kind of thing. He says a squirrel face.
Yeah, because I assume that when they evolved, they never modified themselves.
Maybe.
That's why they look so much different from us. Because we have been.
How about we can set up something. We can talk about people. We can talk to people, right? Who've been, alien encounters, man. There's a lot of people in the world. A lot of them may be just crazy, but I think there's probably genuine people out there who's been.
I'm sure there's a certain portion of it is true, but that doesn't mean it cannot be man-made, And the fact, I also want to get into like the giant. I mean, I don't know how people really got, like through whatever genetic modification that they made. I'm sure that they probably got at least to like 12 to 15 feet tall, but how much bigger can people grow beyond that?
I would think Cro-Magnon was more like the taller ones.
Cro-Magnon, I heard, they got up to 7 feet, around 7 feet in height.
Mm-hmm.
The average between 6 to 7 feet.
Hold on a second. I think that might be Glenn. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Never mind. Never mind.
You know, luck.
There's some computer automated message.
Yeah.
It's Glenn. Well, I guess he can't send out a text message through the phone, can he?
No, that's his house phone. Yeah, actually, you can send text messages to landlines, and they pick it up. It's like the computer, I think, that reads it. Like,
is he gonna know what it is, though?
No, he's gonna be like, "What's going on here?" I don't know.
Maybe he can text something to the landline and text message out. That way.
I think maybe if you wait another 10 minutes, like 3 o'clock, if you try them again, or like 5-10 minutes, you might get them.
Yeah. I mean, we'll keep trying. A couple more times.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. You think Brian? Anybody send Brian a message? See if he can come on.
I can check see if he's on Skype right now. Hold on.
Who's the other person I'm speaking with right now?
It's Dana.
Dana? Oh, Dana. Oh, okay. All right.
No, he's not on Skype right now. So I don't know. He's not around his computer.
Yeah, man. So, Andy made a good point. He's like, the time to be scared is not now. Too late.
What is it?
He said the time to be scared is not now. Too late.
I mean, there's just so many ways that they can attack you. It's not even funny. And, you know.
And I know they watch. I know they have used their mechanisms on me, you know. And it's obvious I'm not going to say everything. I say a lot, you know, already. But there's just certain things that I won't say. Like, and I know when I go see Glenn, there's probably going to be certain things I definitely can't say. But for the most part, I think I can talk about things that I learn and what I understand. I mean, I have to, man. Why the hell am I doing this? It's not just, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, because I'm going to get out there, I'm going to put out what I learned, man. I mean, what's the hell is the point then, man? If I'm not going to...
I personally view it as this, from this point of view, if you force them to show their hand, to me, that's a victory. You should just view it that way. and I think you already have done part of that already. So.
Yeah, well, Glenn was, I don't know if you heard the conversation with Glenn. Glenn did mention you. I mentioned you to him. And he said something about you were linked to the Emperor.
Emperor?
He said, yeah, he said you're linked to the Emperor.
China. Ancient. Andy is DNA.
From
they said Andy, you know, and
but that's American name. That's American name, so that can. I don't know who gave me. I don't remember, but it was when I first came to this country. Somebody, I think one of my aunt gave me that name. But as far as my last name goes, the way the Asian character goes, Chinese character goes, they're kind of translated from certain standard, which I don't know which standard it is, but they kind of translate it directly.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, I guess he got cut off. Somebody got cut off.
Yeah, they have ways of shutting you down. It's anyway, when
I mean, damn, yo, like, fucking fear tactics, man. Come on, man. But I don't know, man. I'm just, maybe I'm a little annoyed. That's what it is. Side of
yeah, I mean, I just look at it like it's not over yet. So, like, there's no.
Like, they don't even know, like, because they're not keeping contact. Like, people don't even know, like what Glenn was saying. Oh, yeah, by the way,
hello?
the point, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, sorry, I got cut off. Yeah. Where was I?
You said the character in your last name.
Yeah, the character of my last name, basically. You know how the language, in specific Chinese, I don't want to talk about other language, which I'm not familiar with, but Mandarin, to be specific. There are many characters that shares the same pronunciation.
Yeah, I know.
They don't mean the same. It's based on the context in which they are used to differentiate one another. So, and my character doesn't match up with any of the emperors in the past, though. I wouldn't say, unless there's some hidden evolution of.
We can ask one that if we get in contact with him. We can ask him that.
Yeah.
See, like I found a word yesterday in French. 2 words in French that sound exactly the same. It's voix.
I think there are many.
Voix means voice, and it means see. So,
French. Knowing French is good, but that's still not accurate enough. I mean,
like
you do want to go back all the way back to Arabic.
Aramaic.
Yeah, Aramaic, but nobody speaks that. Man. Nobody. I mean,
nobody would know.
I've heard that some people in secret society speak their own languages. They have priests and stuff that do that. I've heard that. So, the best is language is good too, but the best, another good way of symbolism is just looking at pictographs and symbols and interpreting symbols. And language is good because you can even go on the internet and look at the language because it's a way of looking at those words. I guess looking at each individual letter. I'm starting to see what happened?
Another thing, like I'm studying Japanese, so how it helps me, like it actually helps me look at English more because you see like how it's different. The different methods and all that. It's like you notice, like things you just take for granted because it's your language. When you're looking at another language trying to learn it, you see like what's opposite or what do they do differently. Like it makes you look at your language a lot. You can pick it apart a little better. But like we have a lot of filler words or letters or whatever in our language, and we always have to say like who's the subject, or we're in like Japanese. It's based on like context, like Mandarin or whatever. It's based on the context, and a lot of it based on what's assumed. Hello?
Oh, I got cut off again.
Really? Are you calling on
what's
a cell
wrong
phone?
with your phone?
Yeah, I'm calling on the cell phone. I mean, I'm sitting in a bad area, so I just moved to another area.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't be in front of my computer, basically. Yeah, I was talking about like how Glenn never really claimed to go completely anyway. Hello?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Never what?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, to me that's pretty amazing already. At that, but I mean, as far as Glenn able to do it all by himself, I don't know how he did it, but kind of over a long process of accumulation of everything that he can get his hands on, I guess.
Yeah, the word, like, you can just look at the words, right? And, like, he'll, like, I look at the words, and you know what I see? I see a lot of Anglo-Saxon roots, Gothic roots, Greek a little bit, a lot of Latin and French. Latin is a big one, but Latin is really, like, when I look at Latin, when you see a word and it's converted from Latin, it's basically the same thing.
Does Glenn know Latin, by the way? But Glenn knows Latin, by the way.
He doesn't speak it. I'm sure he's familiar with these things, but he only works with French because that's what he knows. You know, French is an interesting language too. You know, when you track it, it comes from the Aramaic.
Right.
So does Latin, but they come from like two different ends.
Okay.
And I don't know where with Chinese or even like Japanese, like they obviously come from something similar.
It's Sino-Tibetan. It's called Sino-Tibetan French.
Yeah, I tried finding books on Tibetan Buddhism. Yeah, you cannot find any book on that stuff. I mean, you can find all new stuff printed like 2007.
The difference between, there's one thing that links Tibetan with the Indo-European area, and that's Sanskrit. And they both share, and I don't know how many different types of Sanskrit there are. That's one thing that they share. The existing Tibetan language is actually probably 95% similar to Sanskrit. The more simplified version of it, basically. So, I mean, if you want to know anything, I guess, you want to go all the way back to the origin.
I know a guy who does
started. You probably have to know Sanskrit.
There's this one Buddhist guy I talked to. He reads Sanskrit. He reads that stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, I mean, that's not something at this point in my life. That's not something I could really sit back and read, man. Right now,
you can't learn that stuff unless somebody really knows the language and teaches you. You can't go in. It's very
that would take me years, man. It would take me years.
It will take people lifetimes to do that. To learn a language, to master Sanskrit, it will take a lifetime. It's a very difficult language to learn. Very, very difficult.
Unless you're born into it, man. It's like,
and you don't
that's
learn.
The thing, like, you're not going to find those books because you don't speak the language. You can't read it. So they might have, like when you're trying to learn, like, what you're just talking about.
Those are the books you find antique, man. They sell them. They even have Hebrew lettering.
It's still like translations. You need to see, like, if you want to go to like the root of it, an old book, like you have to like know how to read those characters. And that's how you get it. You can't just read like you're basing on someone else's translation. That's kind of
No, there's books that I've come across that's just Sanskrit or Hebrew.
Yeah.
And these are the old authentic ones, and I'm like, wow. And they're like $1,000 or something like that. And I can't read that shit. I can't.
I mean, you're never gonna get to know the real history of it.
The only people who know how to read it are the ones who are usually transubstantiated. Only Hebrew, if it's a Hebrew that I know, the only Hebrew I know who could read that stuff. He follows it, that's why.
I mean, you want to get to the closer origin of Sanskrit, and that language, you don't want to look at it from the Western perspective. They use Romanized letters to represent Sanskrit words. It's impossible. It's to remember anything. It's all
and I think their frame of thought is totally different from Western. Like we have a language here.
From what I've heard, is extremely, extremely accurate. It depends on how accurate it is, but I've heard if you do master it to a certain level, you can understand the phonetic sound that animals make, and you can decipher what they're saying. Consider a holy language.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very accurate language.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's not an easy language to master, I'll just tell you that right now. And there are various versions of it going around. So there's multiple layers to it too. So it's.
Can you picture how the original Africans, what language they spoke?
I do not know, but I'm sure it's probably very, very simple in a way. Since they don't have written records of anything.
All that written stuff is all the stuff that's the control mechanism. All Sanskrit, that's all written. So like you're already using another part of your brain. That's good. It's not the right brain.
Yeah.
I gotta recall this guy one more time. Hold on a second. Hello? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, hold on. I messed up. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we're still here.
Hello.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, I'm in the barn.
Oh.
What, have you got people on the line or what?
Yeah, we're recording, just to let you know.
Yeah, well, you have to call me back in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I make my way back to the house. I got to finish feeding the animals.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
All right.
Busy guy.
Yeah. Tend to the animals, you know. Old McDonald. Old McKeely.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, at least. Now, yeah.
How much church? I mean, who's is the person? Have any of you physically was at Glen's place?
Yeah.
And who might that be on the phone?
Me,
Right now?
Dana.
Oh, so Dana, you went there already?
Yeah, last I want to say October.
Oh, okay. So how much chores do you think he had? You think all the chores he can still handle himself?
The chores? Oh, I mean, and you gotta remember, it's in Canada, the winters there are kind of extreme, you know, compared to.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot of work for someone his age. I mean, he can do it, but it might take a little longer. It is a lot of work though. He's got a lot of animals, chickens, goats, sheep. I think he has.
He has like one.
He's got a bunch of animals, yeah, and then they got to eat several times a day. The water always has to be tended to, and warm hot water so it's not frozen, so they can drink it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of that, and he's basically the only one that does anything there. The other guy who lives there is kind of the guy who takes care of like the shopping or the cooking for them. So like he had it all.
So he basically doesn't hardly ever leaves the farm then.
Not really. So he doesn't. Yeah, he can't really. He goes around sometimes, but you know.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't really desire to leave the place at all. Basically. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
So yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't, that's why he'll sit there and I think that's why he's like different from like whatever other like he'll sit there and talk about everything because he's not going anywhere. He doesn't really he doesn't travel anywhere. He's not taking planes, going to another country, so he has less to worry about in that sense.
Yeah, he has hardly any distraction basically.
He's just sitting
completely isolated.
Yeah, he decided that he would never travel again. At some point.
He said he doesn't want to travel again?
Yeah, he decided not to travel anymore.
Oh, okay.
So he would just be focused on his project.
How many other countries has he been to outside of Canada?
Oh, no, I know. I forgot. I know he's been other countries, but I don't know.
I've been to the States, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. You can ask him.
Okay.
Anyone have any like specific talking points when we for today with him?
There's a confusing part is that I want to know a little bit more about the Norse giants and things like that, how they're connected to the
Norse
genome.
giant.
Yeah, the
Norse
genome that we're looking at. Yeah, how we perceive the timeline. I kind of want to get to know the giants a little bit better because they're kind of like, from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of hoax out there. I don't know what part of the story is true. And
what are you talking about? Norse mythology?
Norse mythology. Well, the real giants. I mean, the ones.
Oh, the giants are the Neanderthals. That's what they're talking
or
about.
Cro-Magnon. I'd say Cro-Magnon.
But Cro-Magnon only got into like 6-7 feet on average.
Oh.
I'm talking about the ones that are like over 10 feet.
Well, you see like those bones of those guys, like those black and white pictures. Or,
yeah, I mean, I understand there's a lot of hopes out there, but I think there's a certain element that's true because who else could built all those large structures, those megalithic works? That's kind of like what I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about, because that's evidence sitting right in front of our face, and nobody really knows exactly what's going on. I mean, I've looked into a lot of this, but I'm just not real sure.
Judging by some of the like, for instance, like Egyptian like hieroglyphs when they show like helicopters and jet planes, it kind of seems like with the technology we're at right now is like what they were using back then. Those people.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that stone that they left there intact, could that be like a hoax that someone else could have made at a later stage?
What stone?
So whatever the hieroglyphics that you saw.
No, he didn't see any. They haven't seen any. They just all the clues are pointing in that direction, saying that it's there.
I'm just saying, like the technology that we're currently at right now, maybe as far as even building technology, construction, like I think that might have been where they were at back then, because you can see like the work they did there is like seamless.
Well, here's the thing, though. Yeah, here's the thing. Even now, they're talking about they couldn't build the structure with that kind of precision.
Right.
And that's just just one of the giant pyramids on the planet. There's many that are still hidden, tucked away.
Yeah, I was playing a video game, right? Andy, called Tomb Raider. Right?
Oh, Tomb Raider.
For Xbox 360. I was just looking at the structures, man. Like they were, I guess they tried to, and just looking at like Greek. Like they had like where you can go inside, like go underwater, right? And in some like hidden cavern, like it's enormous, like
grotto.
Like, it was a whole world that only a few people like knew about. Like you had to be, I guess, initiated. So it was just like there was a whole world that
a lot of
did not know about.
All the temples or pyramids have like those, those places underneath the pyramid.
Yeah.
Where the initiations were held or whatever.
Yeah, because they have the temple where everybody knows about, but then they have like another part of it, like that nobody knows about. Like it's links to all types. It's in Egypt, Greece, Peru. There's another one. Peru's important too. I think.
Yeah.
Peru has some links to underground. Definitely has some links to underground.
According to Glenn, he says that the Andes are connected with
the Andes Mountains.
Yeah. So the two is connected somehow.
That's you.
Huh?
That's you, man. Andy. It's the Andy Mountain.
What?
Andy Mountain. That's you. Yeah. What did you mean yesterday when you said Sam Mehdi Sam?
This kind of reminds me. You're kind of like the mediator of this whole talk, So I just kind of called you Sam Mehdi.
Oh, Mehdi?
Sam. The name Sam is what? Like
Sam.
Persian.
That's part of my last name. I don't even
your last name?
really.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what it really. I know like it's in Sam's and Christmas.
Right.
Sam.
Right. I don't. Was.
Yeah.
So you have all that. I mean, according to Glenn, he's saying that it's the old Persian, some old Persian from. I don't know. I don't remember actually.
Yeah, that's not my That's just that's not even like that's just the name that was taken from somebody. Because the last name really linked to me, like I guess by my blood, is something else.
What's your blood type, by the way?
I don't even know. I forget. I don't know.
You never checked?
I did check, but I can't remember. Off the top of my head.
You can't remember your own blood type?
No, I don't. These are all numbers and
you can't remember all this stuff. You can't remember letters.
I mean, these are all facts and figures that really. I really don't think.
That's important.
I mean, why would I need to have what am I doing on a daily basis to have to?
Yeah, it's not at all. It's just, I mean, I totally agree, but I'm just saying it could give you a little bit of a clue. I mean, it's all part of figuring out yourself too. So
yeah.
I mean, I think I mean, I don't judge by anybody because they have certain special blood type or something.
Yeah, my Japanese friends always ask me my blood type.
What?
That's not something we'd ask around here, man. I don't know, man. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Oh, you just
hey, what's your blood type, by the way?
Yeah. There's so many variations within each blood type. They have all these RH numbers. There's so many. It just links to genetic mutation within certain families, predominant families that's out there, with certain backgrounds.
And are they noble families?
Yeah, noble families. Pretty much they're the only people that track this stuff to that kind of detail, and so
that's how Japan.
And there's a lot of lost family members out there, which they, at a certain age, they figure out, I might belong to one of these families. That's why they started looking at all these factors to see which family they belong to. Kind of like a lost child trying to get home, find their way home or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's your blood type?
Sorry?
What's yours? Your blood
Me?
type?
I think when I checked it was A+. A positive.
I think I'm O.
I just found out my grandpa's blood type O, but I don't know if it's positive or negative.
I think I'm positive. O positive.
You're O positive, okay. O positive is the most common type, and then it's A positive.
Yeah, I don't know much about this stuff, but
well, it's good to know if you're ever in an accident.
Yeah, I know that, but
well, the thing
does it say it on your ID card?
I just think it's important to know that most of the genetic diseases right now, a lot of the problems are created to attack the positive type, blood type, primarily. This is less pure. It's got a little bit more of the rhesus genes. So most of the stuff that they do in the scientific community, when they test out all these chemicals, diseases, bacteria, whatever that they test out on, it's all they use animals to test. And we're if you have positive blood type, you're more closer, you're more prone to get sick by what they're doing, what they're creating in the labs. So, and this is probably one of the reasons why I see that a lot of people with O blood types are generally more healthier, or negative blood types are generally more healthier. Because most of the stuff that's being created now is to attack the positive types.
Well, you know what, like me, I look at myself, I think I might be A positive. I think, or B something, I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah?
But,
you don't have to go check.
I haven't really...
There's AB, too.
Yeah. I haven't been sick like most people around me. I mean, I do get sick, catch a cold, but say right now, if I would have, last year, the weather changed, all of a sudden I was getting sick. But I've learned now, I listen to my body, right? As soon as I feel I'm getting sick, I'll just drink massive amounts of water and it goes away. Or something like that. I don't get
well, here's the thing.
People all around me getting sick because they're taking flu shots, and I'm not taking them.
Yeah, well, that's obvious. But the thing is, you got to make sure you're getting. I will get a water distiller. I will get liquid supplements of vitamin D, and get some hemp oil. Take some hemp oil. You could get your hands.
Yeah, I used to take that stuff, man. I stopped taking all that stuff a while ago.
All of those?
Because I used to take the shit. What?
Fish oil?
Yeah, I used to take that. There was something else I used to take.
Yeah, don't take those.
Alan White used to say, "Oh, it's good for your brain. Take this."
Don't take any of those stuff. I mean, those stuff they're questionable. I would just stick with the hemp stuff. Hemp, cooking, I'll use palm oil or...
Yeah, I eat hemp cereal, hemp seed cereal.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I mean...
And it's giving me a lot of energy. I noticed that, like, in the morning, like, if you eat it...
In the Bible, in most of the older ancient texts, the number one plant that's best for humans and animal consumption is hemp. That's what it is. Number one. Have you looked at the how they make these hemp oil called hashish oil?
Yeah.
It's like a concentration of that, the hemp oil. It's like a concentration of it. They soak it in some kind of alcohol, isotonic alcohol, and they soak it in there, smash it up, and then they heat it up to burn off the alcohol. And what a residue remains is the concentrated form of the hemp oil. It's got all the THC in it. That's the number one chemical that basically activates so many chemical processes in your body. It basically heals your body itself. It brings it back into balance. So if you have cancer, I mean...
Yeah, I know a guy who's very, very adamant about hemp. Everything has to be hemp.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Even just smoking it, I mean, you don't even get a lot of the THC, even though you get very minor amounts. But even from that, for some people, it has a dramatic effect on them.
I don't know. Like me, I actually find, like, I don't smoke marijuana, but, like, when I did years ago, I find that it actually makes you weaker in a lot of ways. There was even going around, it makes men more feminine, like this.
There's certain aspects of it. I mean, there's certain types of hemp that will do that. It will relax you. Certain types will increase your energy level. There are varieties, and the purity.
Yeah, they sell them in the store.
And the quality and the purity is also in question. If you don't grow it yourself, then you have a question of getting mixed batch or batch that's not good, not fresh, not. So the quality is in question. So you really have to, grow on your own, and use it on yourself too, and try a bunch of varieties. There's so many. I think there's hundreds of varieties, not thousands of varieties of these hemp plants laying around.
Yeah, I really don't see myself growing.
Yeah, I'm not saying though. Not until you try it and grow on your own and try it on yourself. From that with no middleman. That's what I'm trying to say. With no, so you know where the plant came from. Then you know exactly what will do to you. I mean, the stuff you get.
I see hemp is legal. It seems to be like a legal type of.
It's something that grows on the ground. It's a plant. I mean,
like a cousin.
It's illegal if somebody else wants to make money off of it.
Yeah.
So
like, so you look at all that stuff, like, how they all talk about legalizing marijuana. Like, what do you feel about all that stuff?
I mean, they're just trying to. Well, obviously, it's too good for you, so they don't want people to using it.
Well, I think there might be a deception there because they air it on the media, all that stuff all the time, like HBO specials. Man, Ron Paul's on there talking about.
They're trying to fix up their own image. They're trying to use the marijuana in front to fix up their own image. Which
I don't know, man.
Some are a little bit. See, they're trying to tax it. They're trying to find ways to profit from it. So that's one aspect.
Are you kidding? They're profiting so much already from it.
You're talking about the individual anchors that are talking about.
I'll tell you right now, even after they legalize it, right now they're only talking about legalizing it in.
They legalized it in so many places already.
They're legalizing it only in the medical area for medicinal purposes, and there's only a certain amount you can get. So you're still very limited by how much you can get to make certain types of hemp byproduct. That's actually.
My father told me he told me why they give people marijuana. This is why they give them.
Okay.
You give it to, it's not a healing thing at all. So if you have cancer and you know you're going to die, that's what they give to you. You already know you're going to die. That's why they give them marijuana.
They gave them, they only allowed them
nothing to heal or anything. It's more
hemp in those concentration, when you get, there's all sorts of cancer in there.
I think hemp and marijuana, though, are two different things. They come from the same
marijuana is the type you smoke is the bud itself. The hemp, the one parts containing THC is on the leaves. It's the white powdery stuff that you see on the leaf. It's like a white residue. And that's,
but when you take hemp and you take the stuff that you smoke, it's not coming up in your system as a drug, though. That's the thing I'm saying about hemp. I think
you just have a perception that it's still. To me, it's not really even a drug. It's just a chemical that does certain functions within the body. That's how I look at it. I don't even look at it.
But that's the same thing you can say about soma and roots. But they used, Indians and stuff used that.
Yeah, all those stuff, all those stuff.
They cause hallucinations and stuff. Now, I'm not saying they're all bad, because I've been, been talking about this stuff with people recently. Mm-hmm. But they all can be used in a medical fashion. And in some way. But like the way I'm seeing shaman priests and all, they seem to take them on like huge doses when they start hallucinating, and it's like a big religious, spiritual type of thing. I'm sure because every plant can be used somehow as a medical thing, But then you got to think about it. They do genetic engineering, right? So of course they're genetically engineering these plants, man, to make them so much more than what they probably all would be naturally. Like marijuana.
And that's why
that's obviously been genetically engineered, marijuana.
Yeah, and that's why you want to get your hands on the older seeds, the heritage seeds, the ones that doesn't come from a questionable source. Yeah, you just have to go out there and find it, trade it with people or something. There's so many. You see, all these plants, all these, anything that grows out of the ground, pretty much. There used to be so many varieties. Each geographical location has their own. When the climate is a little bit different from one geographical location to another, you have variety at each of those locations, and that's how many varieties. There's a lot of plants out there. There's funguses, plants that actually can help human beings. I guess certain things that are just like there's little natural things. Like I wouldn't say to help fight diseases because these diseases nowadays, man. But like things that you could use, because think about how Americans eat, right? It's a very fixed diet, man. Like we don't have variety. There's like so many other things that they take in other countries that could actually help. I see just from being in Haiti, seeing things that certain things that they do, remedies, certain teas that my parents make that they don't, you will not see in America. They take a huge ginger, right, and just put it in and boil it, or just the different types of things they do. They boil a lemon or a lime.
Yeah, Chinese do that too, man.
Yeah.
And it really helps. When they're sick, they take that, and it helps them.
Ginger, lemon, to boil it. You can breathe in the steam from the water.
My mom does. That's what my mom does. And if it's really bad, I haven't seen her do it in a while. She'll take the Haitian rum and mix it with something else, some type of, I don't know, and then she'll light it on fire in a pan, and then drink it. And it's supposed to help.
Well, did it work out for you?
I never took that stuff.
I never took it.
No. I've taken the ginger and stuff like that, but
I would personally try anything one time at least, and just see how effective anything. A lot of if you do have a physical problem, a lot of times it's probably not any real solution is not going to be overnight. It's going to probably take at least a couple months.
A lot of it too is the environment. Like I have a family member who has asthma, right? Asthma, bad asthma. And she says every time she goes to Haiti, it goes away completely. There's no problem. But when she's here in America, she has a problem.
Yeah, I mean, obviously food is a major problem in this country.
Yeah.
I think one thing that links everybody in the Western world is dairy products. A lot of problems come through dairy. It's the way.
Now you gotta look at the like chicken. I think you'll find some link there. Like how they make chickens, man. How they mass produce them, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Chickens, eggs, and then you got the dairy products. You know, those are massively consumed by almost just about everybody.
Everybody.
Corn.
That's amazing.
Corn and corn byproducts, soy byproduct, all that. I think those couple of things, and then orange juice, perhaps.
Yeah, you think those things would be like I don't think nature would produce that on its own like that much chicken like that.
Oh, no way, yeah. No way.
So if you're speeding up the process, you're obviously taking out something that would be there naturally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
some of the hormones that they pump in, and these hormones don't go away once the waste goes into water. It doesn't get filtered out. It doesn't matter if you have a filter. It doesn't matter if you're drinking bottled water. All those hormones are still in the water. Mm-hmm. It's recycled. Hormone doesn't go away. It can't be filtered out. That's why I said you may want to get a water distiller.
No, but I was into all that stuff, man. Like, I'm fine right now the way I am.
Well, a lot of problems when you're young. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, you're only 27. So a lot of problems come. Problems usually come. Health issues comes all of a sudden. So it takes years.
Like my family, though. Like when I look at my family, I look back, and they don't have any problems like that.
Well, you have a.
It's not like a genetic thing. It's like not like the only genetic thing I can see.
Problems.
Huh?
I said that limits a lot of other aspects, genetic aspects. So everything has to come through externally in that case. Well.
Yeah. I'm gonna call this guy now.
Yeah, go ahead. I think we're way past 10 minutes.
All right. You guys there?
Yep.
Hi there.
Hey, Glenn.
What's happening?
Oh, just discussing stuff.
You're disgusting.
No, we're discussing.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's Danny on the line, too.
Hi, Danny.
Hey.
Hi, Jared.
Hi.
I'm on the line too, Glenn. Andy.
Oh, hi, Andy.
Hey, Glenn.
Yeah, we've been trying to link up with, I guess we kind of sort of have a circle in a way. Like we've been trying to link us all up, communicate with each other.
You're three on the line now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So, we've been trying to link up with each other.
If I had known you were going to call, I would have fed the animals earlier, but this is potluck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all just kind of interested in what's happening with you, Glenn, right now, as far as your situation goes. Sounds like it's getting pretty bad. You're really pushing things to the edge for you.
It's kind of difficult to know exactly what's happening because I'm getting it through third-party information. But as much as I can tell, by the way, thank you for your donation.
Yeah, no problem.
As far as I can tell, I got a call on Thursday, and it was as a result of our inundating the government of Canada with emails and faxes especially the ministers and deputy ministers who run the departments. The gist of the faxes was that nobody in the government seems to know what's going on. It seems like junior clerks are taking over all over the place and doing things that are illegal in the cabinet minister or the deputy minister's name. Included in that was the cutting down of my old age poverty supplements, and then the old age benefit itself, and finally my prepaid pension plan was cut in half, even though I only get half because of first divorce I had. My wife has the other half, which is just the way it should be. But cutting out my funds was the least of my worries. The most of my worries surround the fact that they have blocked my wife's entrance into Canada and given her a piece of paper that says should she attempt to cross the border within a year of receiving the paper, she can be locked up for 2 years, I think it says.
Wow.
And she's about 35 miles from me, because I'm in Oxford Mills, which is one highway all the way down to the St. Lawrence River, called County Road 18, and it comes right to our door and goes right to the river. And right across the river, which is about 1 mile across, the place called Ogdensburg. The code suggests it means God's portable house. And on the other side in Ogdensburg is a large congregation of gray nuns. And ecclesiastics seem to basically control that whole area of the St. Lawrence Seaway. There's 11,000 ecclesiastics just in that area. Wow. So it became a task that we undertook on behalf of the cell, that if we were going to be blocked, then any time that she's forced to stay there gives us a chance to go around and find out what's really happening. My guess, of course, is that Ogdensburg is the southern tip of the Canadian Shield. And when the water flows to drown out the U.S., a rule of physics will cause a rising of the Canadian Shield, which will mean that Ogdensburg and the space between the three bridges, one's at Messina, one at Ogdensburg, another one at the Thousand Islands, just this side of Kingston, near Fort Drum military base, that whole thing rising will in fact prevent water from flowing from Lake Ontario to the St. Lawrence River at Montreal. And water will be forced south, which means it will flood all of the areas, beginning, of course, with, if it comes out of Lake Superior, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Toledo, Ohio, a portion of Indiana, a portion of Pennsylvania, and most of New York State, leading southwards from there. But it will start to rejoin the St. Lawrence River at about Montreal as it goes past a town called Watertown, another place called Canton, another place, trying to think of the name's got a German connotation, can't think of it right now, but ends up in Messina, and of course it makes a mess of potage, is what the Bible suggests will happen at the end times. And will flood, of course, Montreal, which is at the confluence of the Ottawa River and the St. Lawrence River, where the Grey Nuns were formed. And it became kind of interesting that the Bush family has always referred to a New World Order. Well, when you put the accent on the wrong syllables, you kind of give a different connotation. This New World Order, you would think that it means for the whole world there's going to be order. But in fact what they meant was, as opposed to the old world of Europe, in the new world, America, there was a new order being created called the Order of the Grey Nuns. So we've been investigating the links that they have, and in Ogdensburg it becomes clear that there's a network of hospitals and hospices for the aged. Some are under the government of New York, some are under private hands through Hospital Corporation, who basically were on my site at about the same time that Jennifer was blocked. And some, of course, are in the hands of the Grey Nuns. Nuns of St. Joseph, they call them, of the Sacred Heart. There's another name they also use. But their Mother Superior, Marguerite Bourgeois, founded the nuns' order about 120 years ago, I think it is now. And that was done in Montreal. They then moved a large portion of their people to Ottawa and finally into Ogdensburg. And now they have people in the U.S. in a lot of places, and they had in northern Canada until just last week when Sister Dora announced that they were abandoning the Northwest Territory, New World Northwest, and coming back south. Now, it's interesting that you're here, Andy, because they were created by a French family called U. U, of course, relates back to China and the First Dynasty, where a man called Gun, as in Burgundy, and as the shape of this farm is the shape of a gun. A man called Gun had a son he called U. Why U?
I looked up, I knew about that story a little bit, and the characters doesn't represent the U character that my name's written under, unless there's some other evolutionary changes within the word itself.
Yeah, well, I'm just giving you the facts right now, and for you to do what you will, but it's basically got shifted to Uville along the way. Sister Marguerite was not a sister at the time. She was just, and her name, by the way, in English means Daisy.
Oh, Daisy.
Tell me your answer true.
Oh my God! I have a friend that's on Facebook that's named Daisy. Actually, there's a couple Daisy I know of. Daisy Link, Daisy something.
Yeah. Where they were located is interesting because it's on an island at the west end of Montreal, separate from the island of Montreal, called Dorion. Dorion is just a code word for Orion. And her husband was a bootlegger and smuggler. And one of the things that happened was the French sent a group of Trappist monks. It's a rap, the Trappist.
Yeah.
And they set up a booze-making establishment right on the shore there at Oka, where they make cheese. I don't think they're allowed to do it anymore because government was losing too much in taxes, so they had to sell it to Kraft Foods. But they were making booze there. And the whole idea was that during that time in the 17 and 1800s, the Hudson's Bay Company had set up an office in Montreal where they would buy the furs that Indian trappers brought in the spring. And most of those trappers would come down either the Ottawa River or the St. Lawrence River coming from the Great Lakes. And Mr. Uville and his gang would go out and divert them from their journey on the water, bring them in, give them booze, and then buy their furs for another bottle of booze. And the Indians would wake up in the morning having sold everything they had and have nothing to bring back home for a winter of trapping. When he died, and he died fairly young, about 30 years old or so, 32 maybe, she declares herself poor from somebody who was basically rich to poor almost overnight. Now, that's easy to become poor if you give your money away, and that appears what she did. She gave the money to a religious organization who allowed her then to create this new world order. I think the group is called the Sulpicians. In any event, for 100 years, they've been, on the one hand, running orphanages. They say that they are finding homes for foundlings. I suspect it's a little more like the Latter-day Saints in the Mormon group, where they in fact manufacture babies in order for distribution into the community. Now, these would not be ordinary babies. They would be babies that have specific traits based on genes that are recessive in nature and only appear later on in life. It kind of helps the media to know where the next mass murderer is going to come from, or, mass rapists, that type of stuff. In any event, that was one of their divisions. They then make a lot of noise about the fact that they are helping the poor and run hospitals for the poor. Of course, that's where you get some of the DNA you're going to use is from running a hospital. And finally, they run hospices, and that's, when a person has lived out his life, basically what's the genetic makeup of that person, and you could use some of that when you're making the new altered eggs that will then be implanted in nuns who have sworn never to divulge the fact that they are married to Jesus, and as such, a guardian angel comes from heaven like it did with Virgin Mary, and they are inseminated with this egg, and artificially a child is born. So with that as background, I asked Jenny to go ask them for help. They tell everybody they're there to help, especially women in trouble. And Jenny, of course, is 55 years old. She's a registered nurse. Her last employer gave her a job as the director of nursing for a large psychiatric institution. Her specialty is psychiatry and geriatrics. She was making about $100,000 a year and is now unemployed because at every place she went, including the Grey Nuns, nobody responds to her application for employment, which I suggest is linked to this Hospital Corporation of America, which kind of oversees everything in the U.S. So she basically met with the nun who calls herself Sister Joan, the facilitator. And Sister Joan is about the same age, 55 to 60. She's a fat-bottom lady. She's on the board of directors of both hospitals that are linked to the Grey Nuns, although Jenny went to both and applied, and they tried to give her an examination for something she doesn't do. If you're a psych nurse, you specialize in psychiatry. If you're an assembly line nurse at the door of a hospital, you do some other deeds. So they wanted her to do the work of a chemist, usually done by a pharmacist, on the test that they would give her to apply for a job. But at the beginning, the nun listened to her story and told her that, she was a liar, basically, that her past history would suggest that she was on drugs, and basically threw her out for a place that claims they're there to help the people in trouble. She walked her to the door and slammed the door behind her.
Glenn, I've met some nasty nuns.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. A lot of Native kids in Canada have met nasty nuns because they were raised by them and abused by them all over the country during the years in the 30s and the 40s. In Quebec, there's the Duplessis kids. In Ontario and the West, there's all kinds of kids that were put in homes and never saw the light of day. I know there are stories like the government would pay something like $3 a week to the nuns to take care of them, but there'd be an extra buck if the person was mentally ill. And they would lock kids up in closets for a month until the inspector came so that they could claim the kid as mentally ill to get that extra buck. And things like, kids being battered and abused and dying and being buried in the backyard, but still claiming the funds from the government. That kind of stuff is what they were all about. I mean, mind you, today they are probably one of the richest orders in the world.
The Order of the Grey Nuns.
I beg your pardon?
The Order of the Grey Nuns is what you're talking about, right? What?
Yeah. Grey.
And where would you place?
Gray? They're in between. That's like the most important color.
Between everything else. Okay. And where would you place them?
Of the process set up by the system that blacks must be eliminated.
Yep.
Whites were made for a specific job which has been completed and expired and must be eliminated. And the best way to do that is to intermarry the two groups, so you end up with black and white married together, gives you supposedly gray. I have never seen a gray person. That's what they call the grays, are really in charge behind the scenes. It also makes a lot of sense that nuns would be the most powerful group in the world because of the role they play in the Vatican, the role they play in business, in the post office, in politics. They control the archives. Everything that is done in the world ends up at one time or other in the archives. They can hide things. They can steal things. They can prevent the person in charge from knowing what that person should know when making decisions by culling the mail.